It's your boy ST here coming at you with, yes, you read it right, the 2021 NFL mock draft. Yes, the 2021 NFL draft is tomorrow night, and I am super excited. There's a lot of interesting storylines going into the draft this year. What will the 49ers do with the number three pick that they traded a lot to come up and get? What will the Falcons do at four? Have a vested interest in what the Carolina Panthers will do with the eighth pick. And then also a lot of rumors swirling around. What will the Patriots do? They're currently sit at 15. Will they try to trade into the top 10 to get a Mac Jones if he's not off the board at three? Or maybe a Justin Fields if there's rumors he might be sliding down. A lot of other interesting um, storylines going on here as well. Um, Looking forward to doing this, so let's just hop right into it. We are going to do a one round draft, just first round we're going to do, and picking for all the teams. So pretty self-explanatory. Let's enter the draft. All right, first pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars. This pick is pretty obvious. Everyone has known this has been the pick for months, years probably. Last 2 years, Trevor Lawrence has been the best quarterback in the country. He's probably the most developed passer and quarterback that we've seen since Andrew Luck, Cam Newton in the early 2010s. Um, so this is an easy pick here. Trevor Lawrence to the Jags with the number one pick. They get their franchise quarterback. Still a lot of work to do with the Jags, though. Next up, you got the New York Jets. This is also, I thought this can go a lot of different ways once the season ended. But then once the Jets got their coach in, Robert Saleh, and then they ended up trading Sam Darnold to Carolina. It came obviously evident they're going to go with the quarterback here. Um, I think the second best quarterback in this draft is Justin Fields, but a lot of people aren't as high on him. They have him sliding down further, and they've linked Zach Wilson to the Jets for months. That's been kind of the thing that was Lawrence was locked in, and then Wilson was kind of established as that second quarterback in all of the draft mocks and all the reporting that's came out of here. So it seems like Zach Wilson is going to be the number two pick. Pretty easy there. Not too much off of what everyone else is doing with those first two picks. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting. The San Francisco 49ers traded a lot to come up and get this number three pick, um, presumably for a quarterback, everyone thinks, presumably one that they can develop. Um, or one that they might be involved in a trade to get Jimmy G out of there. I have not ever been high on Jimmy Garoppolo or think that he could lead a team to win a Super Bowl. He got to a Super Bowl, but that team also had a heck of a defense and guys like George Kittle and stuff on the offense that, with some good running backs on that squad as well. That was not really because of Jimmy G. So I think they're going to be going in a different direction. The reporting now is that the scouting department wants Trey Lance here, and Kyle Shanahan wants Mac Jones. Two really different quarterbacks. You look at Trey Lance; he is definitely more of a modern day NFL quarterback in terms of he can get out of the pocket, he can scramble, make throws outside of the pocket, whereas Mac Jones not really the most mobile quarterback. Run it if he needs to, but he's mostly stays in the pocket, reads the game very well. Um, hands the ball off efficiently. He just manages the game. He's really a game manager. Um, who knows if this is all just a smokescreen or if this is what's actually going on in San Francisco? We don't know. Um, I still am baffled that Justin Fields is still presumably getting overlooked here. Like I said, I have him as the second best quarterback in the draft, especially in the NFL and how it is today, how it plays today, and what your quarterback needs to be able to do to be successful. But it seems like if all of this reporting is true and Kyle Shanahan wants Mac Jones, they're going to get Mac Jones. So I got Mac Jones going right there at number 3 to the San Francisco 49ers. Now then you get to 4, and this is where it gets interesting because there's been reports out that might be looking to trade Julio Jones once they can. I think it's July 1st. They can start listening to offers. And but then also Matt Ryan is definitely getting old and definitely has started to regress and in terms of his efficiency. So do you draft a quarterback of the future here, or do you get an immediate plug and play offensive weapon, who I think is the second best player in this draft? Second best quarterback is Justin Fields, but I think second best player in this draft is Kyle Pitts. Do you get a guy like that to plug into their offense with an already, I think, going to be a star in this league in Calvin Ridley, especially if they're looking for to get Julio Jones moved on? It'd be Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts, that'd be good. And Kyle Pitts, you can really move along anywhere. You can move him in at tight end, move him out in the slot at wide receiver as well. So, really, this is an interesting decision. Do you get an offensive lineman? Do you go defense here? um, Reach for a quarterback or a cornerback, you could trade back here. And if none of these teams really like them, it's honestly like I think a trade is actually pretty likely. You look at we're doing this on Pro Football Focus, so you look at the teams that are interested here. Carolina can move up and get Justin Fields, but you look at the teams coming up, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Lions. The Lions are really the only other team that might draft a quarterback. The other teams have their quarterback. So if the Falcons aren't looking at a quarterback, the Panthers are definitely a pick you can look up at here. The Patriots, do they really like Justin Fields and think they can jump into this? I don't know. Or is this a situation where they can move back? If I'm the Panthers, I'm getting on the horn and I'm trying to make this trade, getting rid of the 8th, 39th, and maybe a second next year for the 4th to try to move up and get Kyle Pitts. And look at that, that went through. So now we get the Carolina Panthers in there at 4, and I think this is perfect for them because now they can go get Justin Fields if they want to get a quarterback to sit behind Sam Darnold or compete with Sam Darnold. Who knows? I assume Teddy Bridgewater, they're going to figure something out with that. I don't picture, especially with going to get Sam Darnold. I personally think that Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, but yet to be seen. Do they go and get Justin Fields here, or do they go and get Kyle Pitts? An offensive weapon. This is a really, really hard decision, because I said how high I am on Justin Fields, but Kyle Pitts, I think he can be one of the best players in the league. I'm not saying Justin Fields can't, but this is a guy who you can plug and play right away. And they just gave this money to Sam Darnold. Only 5 million. Who knows? But I think that Kyle Pitts is a generational talent. I guess this is saying how high I am on Kyle Pitts. I think they make this trade up to get Kyle Pitts. Then you look at the Bengals here. I think a lot of basically the whole discussion that's been Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase. Do you get someone to help the line, or do you give Burrow his college buddy offensive weapon? Um, uh, you know, I don't know. I'd personally go with the line here, but who knows? The way drafts usually go, obviously playmakers tend to go to the front um, of how drafts usually go. I think they go with Jamar Chase here. I think, especially with how that LSU offense was and how efficient it was for that one year, I think they go that route and get Joe Burrow, his old wide receiver buddy from LSU. You look at the Dolphins here at 6. You're looking at, do you get a tackle? Do you get Penei Sewell, or do you go with one of the Alabama wide receivers to give Tua some options to throw to? Um, I think I think they'll probably go wide receiver here to give Tua options, especially since Tua is kind of a mobile quarterback. Definitely can get out of the pocket and move. Obviously, you need stability on the offensive line. Um, but I think they will probably go with wide receiver here. And a lot of stuff I hear is a lot of people have Jalen Waddle ahead of Devontae Smith, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Personally, I have Devontae Smith higher. Uh, for me, I think for some reason, the way the stuff is trending, I think Jalen Waddle goes here at 6. Lions lost a lot this year. They lost their best players in Matt Stafford and Kenny Galladay, and their wide receiver core is barren, empty, no one. Um, they got Jared Goff there. I'm a really big fan of Jared Goff. He is just in a tough situation again. I think they can either start building something for the future and get Penei Sewell right here on the offensive line, kind of start inside out. But I think they'll end up going Devontae Smith here just to give them some sort of relevancy and hope on the outside. Even though, and when have you known the Lions to make a solid draft decision? Um, Ever, at least in my lifetime, my 23 and a half years of living, I've never seen the Lions make a competent draft pick besides like two in my lifetime. So, but I think they go with Devontae Smith here. I think he's a really, really good wide receiver. I would probably go Penei Sewell here if I was in their position, but I think they go Devontae Smith there. Then now the Falcons, they go back. I think this is a big pick for them because then now they get an extra pick this year. They get a second round pick. Then they get a second round next year as well. Um, then they're able to move back in there, able to really kind of choose how they want to go with this. They can get, um, they can now go and get a cornerback that's not really reaching too high. You have Patrick Surtain there. Surtain, I hope I said that right. J.C. Horn, I've seen high on a lot of people's boards. Greg Newsome, a little bit lower on some, so they can even maybe move back further if they wanted to, but I think they'll probably stand pat here, and I think they'll probably go with Patrick Surtain here, um, bring him in, need cornerback help, get one of the better ones in the draft there. Then now you look at the Broncos. I think this is setting up for you get Justin Fields in there, or do you give Drew Lock another year chance and draft a franchise guy in Penei Sewell? Um, you know, that's tough. If Penei Sewell gets past this pick and he gets the Giants, that's huge. And watch out for the Giants. Then I'm still not sure if I'm sold on what they got going there, but bringing in Kenny Galladay, and some of the stuff they have going on there, and if they get a guy like Penei Sewell, then they'd be moving in the right direction. But right here, I think if you don't see Justin Fields here, he's dropping down to 15 probably. Um, right here, I don't think Penei Sewell gets out of the top 10 though. Now you're looking here at the Cowboys, and what are they gonna do? Um, are they gonna uh, go and reach for another cornerback, or do they move back maybe? Um, I know if you're looking at the Patriots and they think they might go pick a guy like Justin Fields, Trey Lance, probably stick here, and I can actually see them kind of reaching for a guy like Trayvon Mulrig. I hope I said that right. Um, Solid safety out of TCU. I can see them reaching there. And then you get to the Giants, and you're like, they kind of, uh, you know, they're kind of in a good position where they just need offensive linemen right now. They got a guy like Michael Parsons there if they wanted to go that route. Um, if they don't believe in their QB Daniel Jones, they could go Justin Fields, Trey Lance if they prefer that pick. But I think they'll go with Rashawn Slater here. Um, then quarterback, you're looking at the Eagles. I didn't really peg them as a guy to a team to pick a quarterback, but if you're in this situation, it's like I just don't see how they do it. I don't. This is kind of unprecedented. We thought that we had three quarterbacks, top three picks, but then you know, it's like where are these other two guys gonna go? Because a lot of these teams, I don't know why Philly would go get one. I think Jalen Hurts can be a really good player, and obviously, right here you can maybe go get a playmaker like Rashad Bateman or get some defensive help to go with Darius Slay in the secondary, a guy like J.C. Horn or You can get Micah Parsons, a linebacker. I don't see them going for a quarterback here, though. To be completely honest with you, I think if they wanted a quarterback, they might have moved up and tried to get someone else with that trade with San Francisco, looks like. So I think right here they go with Micah Parsons, sliding back to the 12th pick. Um, right here, the Chargers, they need offensive line help, secondary help. Um, but, Christian Darrisaw still sitting there. I think get Justin Herbert some help. We saw how good he was last year as a rookie. Get him some offensive line help. Start building towards something. Make the playoffs in a couple years. Then you go to the Vikings at 14. Interesting situation here. They need offensive line help as well. Secondary as well. And then at this point, a guy like Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC seems like a good pick here for the Vikings. Then you're at the Patriots, and I think this is the most interesting spot. You got go with a guy like Justin Fields, Trey Lance, possibly. Which one do you go with? I'm high, like I kept saying at the beginning of this. I think Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in this draft. Do you go with him here? I think you can't go past this and not get Justin Fields, even though it's way different than anything that the Patriots have done. Um, but if they're able to get Justin Fields here, I think that's good for them. Even though don't want the Patriots to do good, but if they get Justin Fields there, then that's a huge steal. If not, you could possibly see him going to the Washington football team there. Uh, the Chicago Bears are right there. So this is really a debate for who they want um, more. Do they want a guy like Trey Lance, or um, do they want Justin Fields? I don't know why, it's just a gut feeling. I think they'll go with Trey Lance here. Don't know why, could not tell you why, and I can't tell you why Justin Fields is sliding this far, but from everything I've read the past month or so, it's just Justin Fields sliding and sliding and sliding. Now you're looking at the Arizona Cardinals. Need some defensive help, both in the secondary and the defensive line. A lot I've heard about Christian Barmore. He's definitely been sliding, possibly out of the first round. Um, really in a lot of stuff. No real solid tight ends for them to get here. If the Cardinals traded up and were able to somehow get Kyle Pitts, they probably have to give up a lot, but that would be, I'd watch out for the Cardinals then. I think they're going to be good either way, but um, right here, I think they go get some cornerback help with J.C. Horn with the 16th pick. Then you move over to the Oakland Raiders, need a little bit of offensive line and secondary help. For this team. You look at a guy like Greg Newsome, Caleb Farley. A lot of rumors about Caleb Farley possibly falling out of the first round. There's not really too many options. You can reach a little bit for Walker Little, but he's a guy I've seen a lot in the second round. Asante Samuel Jr., another second round guy I've seen a lot of. I think they'll go with Greg Newsome here. A solid cornerback out of Northwestern. They had a good defense last year. All right, then you look at the Dolphins at 18, their second first round pick. Their second first round pick. It's they can really go anywhere they want. Especially if a guy like Rashad Bateman's still going to be there. Who knows if he'll turn into a good NFL, prospect? But he was decently good in college. But then, they got Jalen Waddle with their first pick at number 6. So it's like, what do you go with here? Do you get offensive line help if you can? At this point, there's not a super lot, kind of in the same position as the Raiders were in terms of offensive line. Not really a lot at this point. Um, do you go with a guy like Kwity Paye from that school that we shall not name? Do you get secondary help with Caleb Farley? Linebacker help. I think right here they actually go with a guy staying in Florida, Jalen Phillips, edge rusher coming in from the University of Miami, going to the Miami Dolphins. Then you're looking here at the Washington football team. Clearly, they need a quarterback, and the second best quarterback in the draft is sitting for them right on the board at 19, Justin Fields. I think that's a no-brainer there then if he's still on the board that late. Then you're looking at the Bears. They obviously need a quarterback, but nothing on the board at this point really for them in terms of the five best quarterbacks. Then you're looking at what else they need. I think a guy like Rashad Bateman is a good look here for them. You could also look at a Caleb Farley if he doesn't keep sliding, or Asante Samuel. Um, but I think they'll probably go and get a playmaker like Rashad Bateman. You look at the Colts; they need a wide receiver as well. I think Elijah Moore is he's a guy that I really locked in for this pick. Um, really one of these next two picks, I see Elijah Moore going. It just depends which one you're looking at and which what the team needs more and what's on the board. But I actually think Jason O, I hope I said that right, goes to the Colts, and then the Titans, I think then they go and end up picking up Elijah Moore. Then you're looking at the Jets, their second first round pick. They got their quarterback, Zach Wilson, with the number 2 overall pick. Now you're looking for offensive line help, a little bit of the guard position, uh, secondary help. I think they'll probably go secondary help here. And at this point, you're probably either going to go with, I think they could actually go with the linebacker out of Notre Dame. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name, I'm sorry. But I think they could go uh, him here, Caleb Farley. I don't think that I actually don't believe he'll fall out of the first round. I don't know. I just don't. A lot of rumors about it, but I got Caleb Farley going there at 23. Then you're looking at the Steelers. What are they going to do? They have a solid defense. They need a little bit of help on offense side of the ball. I think they actually reach for a guy, Oklahoma State, Tevin Jenkins. And you're looking at the Jaguars' second pick. This is the pick they got from the Rams in the Jalen Ramsey trade. They also need, obviously, an offensive lineman right here, tight end, safety. I think that this is a guy that you can look at, Walker Little, to go second round. Probably is a better fit for him, but end of the first round as well. Then when you get here, to the Cleveland Browns, I think this is where you see Jeremiah go off the board, the linebacker from Notre Dame that I'm not going to even attempt and butcher his name. Looking at the Ravens right here, definitely need wide receiver help. Terrence Marshall sitting right there for them, and I think that's clear as day what they'll do right there. Looking at the Saints here, they need some wide receiver help to go with Michael Slants Thomas, linebacker help, possibly in terms of a guy like Nick Bolton. Cornerback help, Asante Samuel Jr. But, right here, I think they'll go with Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State to the Saints right there. Green Bay Packers need wide receiver help, linebacker help, cornerback help. Nick Bolton, I think you'll look for a guy like him to go here. You look down even more. I think a guy like Samuel Cosmi. I think that this is a guy from Texas that can sneak into the first round, uh, possibly with the Ravens, especially after trading Orlando Brown to the Chiefs. But we'll get to that when we get there. Alex Leatherwood as well down there, second round fringish guy. Right here, I think this was also another pick that I've seen a lot for myself that makes a lot of sense. Rondell Moore. To the Packers, give them some speed and wide receiver help to go with Devontae Adams. Then you're looking at Buffalo right here. I think Christian Barmore finally goes off the board here. Um, then right here, you're looking at the Ravens. They got their wide receiver last time, and now do you have an edge rusher like Kwity Paye, unfortunately there, or Aziz? I'm not going to attempt that last name. Sorry, the edge rusher out of Georgia. Deal with a tackle here. And I think this is the spot that you can see a guy like Alex Leatherwood or Samuel Cosmi going. Me, I would probably right here go with Samuel Cosmi. Actually, you know what? No. Right here, I think Alex Leatherwood come in there to replace Orlando Brown. Then you're looking at the Bucks right here, the last pick of the first round. They're getting with the defensive end. a safety possibly. I think Elijah Bolden is a good pick right here for them to close that out. So let's grade the draft. Look at A plus, A plus, A's across the board. Jalen Waddle at 6 was the first B. Um, the trade from the Falcons for the Carolina Panthers. That was an A minus trade for both sides. I think that worked out great for both sides. You know, that position you could go over there. Justin Fields could very well go there if that was trade were to happen with the Panthers. Um, A plus, A's across the board for all of these. Getting Trey Lance there at 15 for them. Uh, a B plus there. Jalen Phillips to the Dolphins. Okay. Justin Fields, that's an A plus every day to the Washington football team. We got a B plus right here, back to back for the two tackles that went back to back. Those are second round fringes, end of the first round guys, but positions of need for those two teams, my opinion. Um, Solid all the way around overall. Uh, Solid for everyone across the board. Okay. Well, that was really fun, guys. Like I said, the draft is tomorrow night. Um, really looking forward to it, and excited to see if any of these actually pan out. Any of this, I think I only made the one. I only made the one trade. I would love that as a Carolina Panthers fan. My other team, the Rams, obviously don't have a pick in the first round. That was the Jaguars' second pick there at 25, but yeah, I'm interested to see, especially a lot of the storylines. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the what's going to happen at 3, what's going to happen at 4 and 8. What are the Patriots going to do with the 15th pick? What wide receivers are the Ravens going to get with their 2 first-round picks? And are they able to get a tackle to replace Orlando Brown from there? Um, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down there and that like button if you liked it, and leave a comment if you thought any of these picks were good, stupid, what you thought. Let me know down in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, gang.